Hey, it's Uncle Joe with Uncle Joe Hikes. We're up here on Hale Ridge Rd, and we're going to take the Bartram Trail southbound from here. It's January 20th. There's some ice around. The water's flowing, obviously. We have to hike backwards on Hale Ridge here, just a few yards to the start of the Bartram Trail. This is where it heads south towards Rabun Bald. And here we go. Beegum Gap and Rabun Bald. We're walking this side slope here, and got a little rock tripe there on the side of the rock, and some moss as well. Some icicles. They're starting to melt. This little piece of ice just dropped right there. Out here on this sun-facing slope, I am seeing some ground tore up here. I know that some guys that I just met at the parking area just finished this loop. They went south and then around, but that looks relatively fresh. So maybe something came through here in the last few hours, maybe a hog or something like that digging in the trail bed. I don't know. There it is. Hope we don't meet up with it if it's a hog. You know, hogs can be ornery. Sometimes they just decide that they just want to come right at you. And I don't think I could get to anything to do something to them with fast enough, but anyway, yeah, a little bit tore up through here. It's hard to say. A little bit mushy right there. So this is really cool. Look at all that ice. Yeah, we just left that waterfall with all that ice. There's some great little cascades. We make our way over around this little crook here. It's gorgeous. Got some more cascading going on. A little slick rock there. A little bit of ice left on those branches over there. We keep making our way. There was a truck back there. I was still within earshot of the road and roughly where I parked. And it sounded like it parked. It was going real slow. Sounded like it parked back where I was parked. So a little concerned. Hoping my truck ain't broke into when I get back. But they shut the car off, and I whistled. It started it back up and then shut it off again. So maybe it's just somebody parking to hike. I don't know. Figure it's too late at this point. I'm not hiking back. Whatever's the case will be the case when I get back. Get a bit of rock up here. Getting a little bit of a slab up beside us too here. Still seeing some turned up trail. I think there's somebody out ahead, or maybe that's just residual from somebody who was hiking ahead of me. I don't think a hog's gonna follow the trail this far. He'll dig up a little bit and then decide something's better somewhere else and just go off trail. So I'm seeing some ice, still some frozen trail back there too. So yeah, keep moving. Should be getting pretty close. I think it's Beegum Gap. Should be getting pretty close to there. Plenty of footbridges on this section too. After pretty much side sloping all this. It's just really nice. Seeing these cascades. They're just beautiful. We make their way down the side slope to our left here. Well, you can hear all this before you get to it, so you know a cascade's coming. You can hear it through the woods. It's beautiful. It's making its way through the trees. A little bit of ice down there, but the sun's kind of starting to take care of the ice. He keep moving on. This is just right around the corner. Coming out from above that rock back there. Out across the trail. A little bit mushy. We'll try to make our way across here. Here we go. Rhododendrons. And they got cold last night. You can tell they all drooping and sad, and some of them's curled up. Sun's a little bit into the lens there, but this is the first real open kind of spot we've really had. It has been closed in with vegetation. Obviously trees came down here, and that's why this is open, but it has been very closed off. And try to find us a place to put our feet here, as it is wet. But yeah, it's been vegetation. If you're not in a tunnel, you've got it on each side, and when that's not there, you're in a tunnel. So that's kind of been the way it's been going here last mile. I've probably only gone about 1.75 miles. As we listen to some water seep in here, but we should be getting pretty close to Beegum, I think. We'll see. Got some ice hanging here. Some of it's melted enough and broken off, but it's slow to melt, that's for sure. This little spot here is kind of, it's open out there, but it's not right in the sun like the other area was. So the ice is hanging on a little longer. Like a hair and a biscuit. Well, if you like hiking by cascades and over creeks, this is really the place to be. See that coming down way back there, splitting off. Really nice. This is just such a pleasant hike. I'm really impressed. Got this tree here, both these splitting out. Really cool. You can see some frozen shards up there. Little ice flowers. Little stems sticking up. Still fairly cold. I don't know how cold it is. Somewhere around freezing, I guess. Maybe a skosh above. Ways down pushing. Looking for that Beegum turn off to that parking area that I couldn't park at earlier. I believe that's going to be the ball we got to get to. We just started a climb. Really the first turn that looked real obvious to be a switchback for a climb. And we're going to take this rise up to the turnoff, and then from there zigzag our way up to the top. So I believe it's that or that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be that. We'll see. One or the other. Sometimes you're hiking along and you think you see something, and you strain at the thing you thought you saw, and you miss the fact that there's a house there. There's a house there. Sure enough. Maybe that's just somebody's drive. So it may be the way down to the parking area too. We go up. Kind of open out here up on top of this ridge we just crested. A little bit breezy, a little bit cool in that breeze too. We've had it pretty good on the side slope. But I bet we're going to get some wind. And this is probably the gap proper. I mean, it makes sense. Parking area for the, if you want to call it that, is down the hill there. So it was full, and I got here just really just a pull off and try to pull up on the side of the road, and it just wasn't happening. By the time I got there, yeah, here's our turnoff that goes down there. So this trail will take you down. And then there's an alternate, I guess, on the other side with an old dirt road maybe. But it says here, up the hill, all the rhododendrons on the north side of this slope curl up. They say that's a sign it got real cold. I believe it. All of them. Much more so than on the way up on that side slope with those south facing ones. Only a few of those have curled up. Got a good view up here, this turn. And the camera may not pick it up, but in the side slope over there, it's really white, which tells me there's a lot of ice on a rock face over there. Still some icicles hanging on, but look here, crystals in the dirt. Well, we've come to where the road turns off here. That basically goes back down to the parking area. 2 at the road. This takes us up to the Bald. It's like the numbers are rubbed off. Maybe just shy of a mile. Somebody left a sweatshirt. Probably gonna grab it on the way down. You can build up a little heat regardless of the fact that it's cold. In fact, we got ice, it looks like, right here. I don't have anything for my feet. Hopefully won't need it. But yeah, we get a little bit of a view too. Well, first we gotta get on up here. Time to waste it. Yeah, and you bust your butt real quick, right, John? Yeah, that's pretty slippery. Pretty slippery. And I better turn this off. So some of this is melting, as you can see, but as soon as it gets around that corner, it's slick and treacherous. Still plenty of ice. Woo. And another ice field here. It's gonna get interesting. So in the interest of staying true to the trail, true to my videos, I came around grabbing the rhododendron and keeping my feet off the ice. I will not do that on the way down. I will take the alternate, which is right here, as much as I hate to do, but I don't have any spikes and I don't have a whole lot of choice except try to repeat what I did. We'll make that decision when we get back this way. And because there just hasn't been enough, we got another one. Well, we're getting close. Just past a little gaggle of young folks, probably in their 20s. They were either 20 or 10. At my age, it's hard to tell sometimes. Had this tunnel to get through. Got some people walking down there with their dogs. So you can hear church bells down there. Well, where are they at? Obviously out of church. They're not. Don't sound terribly far away, so somewhere in that little community back there. Must be striking 3. All right, we're at the summit. As evidence, another trail marker. Yeah, we are here. Beautiful view. Get up yonder. So this is our view, kind of southeast. So all that plateau out there is South Carolina, and then the range going across, I believe Table Rock is probably that hump out there, but that's where you would have all of that. And I think it's called Table Rock that's out there. I'll put a correction at the bottom if I mess that up. And then up this way you go out to Scaly. I don't know, that may be Scaly there. And then the Bartram goes on out and makes its way, kind of makes a hook, and then goes north. And then of course over here is a southern Nantahala, and of course that way goes out toward Lake Rabun and then the AT. So the AT is going to make a big hook and then go south out that way. So yeah, we got Albert Mountain. I'm pretty sure Albert Mountain is that second hump because I can barely see the tower, what looks like the tower sticking up. And of course the AT goes on north and up to the Smokies, which are out in the distance there, I believe. So yeah, a great view up here, second highest point in Georgia, and it's just gorgeous up here. I'm glad I came on up to the summit. It's just awesome. Awesome. Now I gotta get down because I get down before it gets dark. All right, 1.6 down to the Beegum, and then another 2 miles to the truck. 2.3, give or take. I'm at 4 miles. It is easier that way. It's 4 miles. And those girls decided to come down this, which frankly looked a little bit more treacherous than the ice. The ice had a nice wider path on the inside than the previous one. So I did take the shortcut on the previous one, but that one wasn't too bad. We start making our way down. Them girls are double timing it. They're young, full of energy. I gotta take it a little easy. I need to tighten my shoes up too at some point. They're starting to shift around on me. Yeah, we got about 3.5 miles or so yet before we sleep. And in no time, we are back at the road turnoff, or the double track, if you will, the old forest road, which I think a lot of people go back there to the left. We're going to go to the right, as we're not going to this parking area, we're going to the next one. Just past the girls when I'm stopped to tie her shoe, which may very well have been a deliberate act to get me to go by, which if it was, it's very smart for doing. So we just came through the turnoff where the trail splits. The big double track goes back down toward the parking area at Beegum Gap. I'm sure the girls are going that way, those ladies. I just kept going straight. There's our crossing there. And there's our house. This is the second little double track crossing. There's somebody's house over there. A little hard to see. There we go. Comes into view there. Alright. Means we got about 2 miles or so, and we'll be back at the truck. Hopefully that truck I heard pull over didn't pull over and start rummaging through my 8-tracks, stealing some of them. I don't want them to take my wild cherry 8-track or my Skinner one more from the road. I won't be dusting for Prince. I don't mean Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. I mean fingerprint. So we got 2 humps here, one over by the sun and this one. I can see a little bit of the ice on the face of that. So that's our finishing point up there. We're making our way down from there. So, I really enjoyed this section of trail between Beegum and Hale Ridge. This section here was just awesome. Now, once you get to Beegum, you're getting to a lot more human traffic area. You know, it's a lot more feet pounding the ground, that kind of thing. Plus, it opens up a good bit. And it is what it is. But this section through here is just a delight. And all the little footbridges and cascades. So earlier when we came to this dog leg here, it was the first one that wasn't really out of drainage of any sort. And it's the first one that really forks back to your right. So keep that in mind if you do this section. That is your kind of the start of your real ascent. From there you're going to go up to Beegum, and then from there it's up to the summit. So up until that point, this is pretty good side slope hiking without any real climbing to it. So this first almost 2 mile section here, not quite 2 miles, is it's pretty easy going. Now that we've come down a little bit, and keep in mind we're on a southeast facing slope, the rhododendrons are not as curled up. A little bit droopy, but you could definitely tell up the hillside there that those up yonder were seeing some cold and reacting to it. There's still some icicles on this rock. Still some that fell down here. There's a little bit of dripping. You'll see some dripping off of them. But they're also still hanging in. And there are laurels up here too. I don't want to lay the laurels out. It's a little short laurel bushes up there on the heading up the summit too. I would say, for the most part, rhododendron are outnumbering the laurel. It's funny how that can happen. Some areas there'd be a lot of laurel and very little rhododendron. Just the number of footbridges and cascades make this section worth the hike. It's just awesome. Man, there's got to be like 10 maybe or more footbridges, representing probably 6, 7, 8 drainages. Really nice. We're racing the sun. We're back here at this little slab, which means we still got a long way to go. A little ways to go anyway. But it's dry over here. There's no ice. Water really, so getting over these rocks is going to be a problem. Get a little peek through the trees of stuff that's out there. Camera probably won't pick it up, but anyway, make our way. So here's the thing. All of those almost indiscernible little descents that you do that make the trail seem so easy are tiny little ascents on the way back. They start adding up. The sun's out though, and it's nice. We got a lot more daylight than it kind of looks, especially when you get down along the ridge and you're kind of got the sun's on the other side of the ridge. It gets a little dark, but it's still a good hour or so from sunset, which is good. We got any time to get here. It's all right. We're getting real close too. So we got this little cluster of hemlocks or spruce, whatever these are, That means I get some needles on the ground. It means it's going to be a little bit softer on the feet. Oh, it's just so nice. It really is. Feels good. That shadow looks awfully wide. I know, I got a few more pounds on me I gotta get shed of. Well, through the trees, camera may not pick it up, but you can see on that ridge, far ridge there, that there's homes and maybe a resort or apartment complex or something. And I think that's up on the North Carolina side, maybe over near Highlands. And that's what you call double wide money right there, buddy. That takes some money to buy a spot up on a mountaintop like that. Imagine the view has got to be just awesome. Good for them. Good for them. We're getting closer. Kind of opened up into the holler. We got to work our way around. A little dark under here, but good sized icicles. Passed them earlier. We're getting here to our big waterfall. See it through the trees. Not quite as icy, I don't think, as it was. But yeah. It'll freeze back up. That much is for sure. Yeah. Some of this has melted a little bit. I don't know, it's still pretty icy. Awesome. I can see the road up beside me, so we're just working our way to the intersection with that road and the trail. Almost there. And we've done 8.4 according to the sign. We're packing it out. And here's the road. Hale Ridge. And we got some ice here. We're gonna have to be a little bit careful. Yeah. There's a Bartram continuing on north. There's old Silver. Hopefully nobody broke in. Took my 8-track tapes. All right. Bartram Trail south from Hale Ridge to Rabun Bald. And that's done. I have done it further down Hale Ridge, going in and coming up on the south side of Rabun before. Maybe I'll link that video. Me and Don, my buddy Don, and that's a great way to go. It really is. It's a slow, steady climb, but it's not too bad. This way, really not much in the way of climbing or hard trail till you get to Beegum Gap and start your ascent. And between here and Beegum Gap is just a pleasure to hike. There's the boardwalks and all the cascades. I highly recommend that. I really do. I want to recommend this Carlos for the Hiking Buddy group, because it's a good way to go. It's not too far, about just shy of 8.5 miles, and the payoff is the view at the top. So 360 view. So you can't beat that. But yeah, we're done. We're gonna get out of here. Find some victuals.